Tom Fox, staff photographer Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett applauds his offense as they drive on the Philadelphia Eagles in overtime at it. The Cowboys won in overtime, 29-23. Tom Fox, The Dallas Morning News, Tim Cowlishaw, sports columnist for sportsdatafw.com and The Dallas Morning News, author of Drunk on Sports and panelist on ESPN's Around the Horn, answered questions about the Cowboys and his reader mailbag. Here are some highlights. Is Earl Thomas all Brandon Carr's fault? Did that one contract terrify Dallas so much as to not pay FADBs? Cowlishaw, if it did, the Cowboys really aren't paying attention. Carr started every game while he was here. He was a good, not great corner. The Cowboys overpaid for him, but that's what you do when you're filling needs in free agency. The Cowboys and other teams have made far worse deals. Dallas is convinced this cost-cutting method is the only way to travel. I think it limits the team far too much. There's no urgency this year for Doc and Zeke. There should be. How upset do you think Jason Garrett is at Dallas not pulling the trigger on big free agents as he heads into his final year? Cowlishaw, I don't think Garrett even looks at things that way. I think he is firmly on board with this approach. There's no reason to think Garrett believed the Cowboys would be big players in free agency. That hasn't been the case for a decade. Is Tank's contract basically a guarantee to get done now without the weight of an additional Earl deal on the cap? Cowlishaw, I think it's likely to get done, but I'm not sure an Earl Thomas contract would have restricted its chances. The Cowboys have plenty of room under the salary cap to get all of these things done. Lawrence costs $20.5 million if he accepts the franchise tag, so the Cowboys already have that number penciled onto their books. If a long-term deal gets completed, you can move that number around a bit, but it won't be higher. Lawrence holds the cards here, but the Cowboys also know that he's not likely to sit and pass on $20.5 million. How do you feel about the Cowboys' tight end depth now with the additions of Jason Witten and Cody McElroy? Cowlishaw, they have some tight ends. Better than a year ago, but certainly no game breakers. Witten brings some leadership to the locker room, and that might be the most important element of his return. The Cowboys, like a lot of teams, will not rely heavily on tight end receptions in 2019.